Hi! Welcome back to my channel. It's been so freaking long. It's like 6 years, 7 years, 6, 7 something. I think it was 2020 when I last posted my videos on this YouTube channel, and of course a lot of things has happened. I have been traveling a lot, moving cities, chasing degrees. I did my bachelor, finished my bachelor degree, and also have my master degree. I worked a lot. I also have a really quick change in my career that I didn't even know that it could become something one day. And yeah, it has been a really long journey, and I'm glad to be here, finally come back and sharing with you about this journey. And this video has been sitting in my draft for a really long time. I remember in 2022 I started to record again. I wanted to post, but in the end of the day there was too much things happened. I decided to live in the moment and didn't capture all of these things that happened with my life, because I was like, oh no, I don't want to bring my phone and always like filming all the time. But now that I look back to it, I was like, it has been such a good journey and I didn't have so much footage. I'm happy to be back. Yes, it makes me so happy. You can see I just keep smiling, and oh my god, I am so much different compared to 6-7 years ago. In the past years I've been working a lot, and I just realized like life is so much more than work. Like, why do I always constantly keep pushing myself, putting myself into a masculine energy and keep trying to pursuing things when you have to be when things is so much easier if you just like there, like take a deep breath in and a breath out. Everything is coming to me effortlessly. You know this kind of YouTube videos where people was like, you're attracting things, you don't chase, you attract these kind of things. And I do believe it's so, because everything's in life in the end of the day is come to like energy wise. So if you are like attractive, if you are magnetic, you are just naturally like things just naturally comes to you. And it has taught me a lot, because besides working as a marketer, I am also a model as well. So I turned myself into a model out of nowhere. Yes, out of nowhere. Yes, congratulations, you are a model. I don't even know why. What happened? Like, what? So the story is, I started in 2020, I think. It was during pandemic. Yes, it's the best time to pick a career, like to start a career, I guess. And I just got so bored. I woke up one day and I was like, what if I become a model? Like, am I possible to do that? I never have this idea in my life. I did like this kind of fashion like modeling class when I was like super small, like 4 years old, 5 years old. My mom made me to do this, but I never thought about like becoming a professional model in the future. So I was just like, just give it a try. So I was listing out of the model agency in my city. I tried to take a deep look into what kind of agencies they are, because this was very important, because I didn't have any fashion contact in Budapest at the time, and I was just like kind of skeptical, like how much would they want me to work, if I cannot work because I have school, like am I possible to do this, how is the payments going to be like, how is the job going to book like. So I have several questions in my head. And also like, is this a good agency? Which one is a good agency and stuff like that? And in the end of the day, I found Visage Model, and I've been with them since 2020. So since the beginning of my modeling career. I actually attended the face contest. It was such a cool experience. It's really fun, but I just didn't have time to. They called me on the day that they called me. They told me that I got selected for the next round, but I was already back to Europe again at the point. So yeah, I couldn't participate in this, but it was really fun. I could love to do it again. Thanks to modeling, I got the chance to work with so many different productions teams, different brands, different clients, different people, like so many creative people, and I even got to travel around like many places. I was living in Milan like for couple of months, like 8 years, a little bit of months, living here and there, thanks to modeling. And I got booked for a really like big client like Puma as well, and I was really truly grateful for this, because I mean, it was hard work. I have to fly to Germany to get to do the job, and I remember it's like 3-4 days, something like that. And the productions team is like super cool, super amazing. During the modeling career, I have been able to be in my creative self. I think from the outside, people would think that this job is so shallow kind of things, like shallows, or you are not using your brain, you just sit there and then you just like post blah 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 left and right. But what teach me and what I have reflect on this journey is that it's teach me a lot in how to be very flexible and adaptive. For example, whenever I got booked for a job, I will be working with so different people, so many different groups, and each people will work differently. The photographer will work differently, the makeup artist will work differently, the stylist or the designers will work differently. So every single time you have to pick up the pace with the current productions, and each productions normally just like last for like a day or like a show or like 3 days, 5 days, something like that. It's like very short time, and you have to be very quick to adapt to these things. I remember my first job with modeling, I got booked for a client from Canada, and it was supposed to be like 4 shooting days, but then they canceled on the second day, and I was like, what? Is this like normal, or am I just performing too bad, or what? So you know, all these things just happening to me like inside my thought for that moment. And then I saw that in my apartment that day, and I was just like, okay, so this is it. And that moment taught me a lot about this industry. Like, it's just literally just the beginning of this industry. Like literally, I remember like your hair should always be like in a hair be done, nails done. I don't have my nails done these days. Like everything needs to be done. Your passport needs to be ready as well. You will be booked like in the 1 day before the shows, or maybe just like in the morning of the show. So many things happen like that I heard from my friends, and also my story as well. Yeah, it's such a cool industry, isn't it? So it teach me a lot about being patient, being resilient, being creative, and how to be very, very, very disciplined with myself. Because in the end of the day, it's modeling. It needs a lot about it comes a lot about like how to be control of your body weight, of your figures, and your appearance, things like that. So I think discipline is one of the most important thing that I have learned throughout my modeling journey. So many years later, I'm still kind of here. It was a lot, and it was really cool experiences. My mentality is just like and parallel to this, I was doing marketing as well. So it's myself kind of different from modeling, but it's share a lot of mutual things. Both are about understanding people, what make them stop, what make them interested, what catch their attentions, how to make them buy more, how to make them spend more time in this section. And all of these things have been teaching me vice versa between modeling and marketing at the same time. So why I'm back to YouTube this time, so I realized that there's no perfect moments, there's no perfect videos, and if I just keep waiting and waiting, I will never make anything. The next journey that I'm going to experience, I just know that I wanted to document it here in this channel. But whatever it is going to be, I don't have to figure it out just yet. I just need to put in the work and make it happen. That's what I believe in. So if you make it to the end of this video, first of all, thank you very much. I'm truly grateful that you are staying with me to the end of my jabbing sections. And I could really love if you could comment down below if we have ever met each other along this journey in the past years, and or just like commenting so that I can know that you're watching, and I really appreciate your views and your thumbs up for this video. So yeah, I hope you well, and see you next time. Bye!